Hello everyone and welcome to the Aries Moon Girl channel. This is going to be another chart reading for one of the viewers of this channel that has asked me for a reading. Golah, this is for you. I know we talked via email before, but as you have asked me to look into your chart also in a more detailed video, this is what I'm gonna do now. And again, I'm going to look at the five things that I usually look in a superpower reading. So I'm going to look at the sun, I'm going to look at the moon, I'm going to look at the overall chart house placements. So what houses are actually most full of planets in your horoscope, and then I'm going to look at the most important part of our journey, our karmic path, North Node and South Node, and also at Mars and Venus in order to see how you attract things in your life. Okay, so let's get straight into this. I think we had a discussion also a couple of weeks ago, so you kind of know a bit or you have an overview over your chart, and I think you probably are very much concerned with astrology yourself. But looking at your overall chart placements, beyond the fact that you are an Aries sun, a Leo rising, and a Cancer moon, which kind of defines your blueprint through life. So fiery, strong emotion, personality. What's really relevant in this chart is this ninth house. Your ninth house has Sun, Mercury, Chiron, Jupiter, and your South Node in it. So definitely, if we speak of a clear life path or a clear karma, especially if we're speaking of the South Node coming from the past, this is what you can see in this chart. You have a very high emphasis on this ninth house. And what does the ninth house actually mean? Just to put it into perspective, just for you to maybe understand better what the ninth house symbolizes. So if you look at the first 7, 8 houses, you will see that these are all very much human experiences in one's life, and it really follows like the journey of a person's life. So it starts in Aries with the kick of life, with that enthusiasm to start things, then gathering things, then starting to communicate with others, learning your self-worth and things like that. And when it reaches Scorpio, it's somehow at an all-time high or low. In terms of psychology, it's at an all-time low because it finally reaches its highest potential as a human and in the relationship with the others. And the 8th house is a house of crisis, and it's a house of death and rebirth. And what follows is actually the 9th house. And this puts the 9th house in a very interesting position. That 8th house is the point in your life where you go deep within yourself. You realize that this human experience is all in vain, and it could be even hurtful, and it's that moment where you have to let go of something, and where you're at an all-time low in terms of your human experience until you get to a new level. And for me, this 9th house is the new level. The 9th house comes in and says, okay, I'm going to put it all into perspective. It is not that your life is worthless, it is that it's more out there, and there is a higher purpose to our lives, and there is a higher meaning behind every suffering, and there is a higher reason why we exist on earth as mankind. And this is the 9th house. The 9th house goes on a search of finding that higher purpose. The ninth house realizes, okay, it's all good until here, but it's not about this. It's about more, and I need to find what that more is. And this is where your belief gets created. This is the point where someone that's at an all-time low discovers church and discovers a higher purpose, or discovers philosophy, or discovers psychology, or discovers discovers that one belief or more beliefs that help them progress and understand life better. And it's not a house that has reached the higher knowledge. It's a house of searching for that higher knowledge. And with you having Sun there, Mercury, Chiron, Jupiter, and South Node, this is practically your life karma, or what you know best to do. You probably know what I'm talking about. You probably have always been concerned with, why are we here on Earth? What's the purpose of all this? What's our inner self telling us? What's the best way to go about it for humanity? How can we all as humanity prosper? And in this, you go on a journey. You go either on a physical journey, or you go on a knowledge journey, and you tend to draw knowledge from all sides and gather it in order to form your own opinions. So this is the house of higher learning. And with this, I would say you for sure have a very big inclination towards learning of important ideas, and learning about psychology, learning about philosophy, learning about religion, and getting this map in your head of all this of all this that's going out there, of all the knowledge that people have put together in the world. This is what Sagittarius does. Sagittarius wants to kind of take it all in, take all the world knowledge, regardless of how much it is, and bring it to a conclusion. And they feel like there's so much to explore, and you cannot settle down on only one idea. And with Jupiter there, I feel that you probably have this even more. I need to keep on talking a bit about this, because having South Node in this house, it's very, very important. So you probably feel that you came into this world with this thirst for knowledge, and you are very, very good at it. But at the same time, and with Jupiter there, you probably feel that you have so much more knowledge than someone else can understand, and you sometimes have trouble getting it out as much as it is possible, because you have one interesting conjunction there between, so you have Sun and Mercury, which is a good conjunction for you to express your ideas. It sometimes can be a bit too fiery, especially in Aries, so you might be a bit too strong in your ideas. And with Jupiter also in that house, your ideas might be too strong. You feel like, okay, I'm the one that knows the truth, or I'm the only one that seeks for the truth, and you come too strong on. But what happens with Mercury and Chiron here is that you sometimes feel that people don't listen to you, that your message doesn't get across. You feel, I have all this huge knowledge within me, or huge gathering of information, and it doesn't get through. It doesn't get through. And this might be an early life experience, or it might be a late life experience, because South Node is there, and only in late life you seem to encounter these obstacles. Nevertheless, what Chiron and Mercury conjunction tells you is that you are a great teacher, actually. Is that although your own points that you might want to make for your own ego are not going across always, once you want to help others, once you want to get a point across for the good of others, once you want to teach others to express themselves in the most efficient manner, then you are the greatest teacher, because this is something that you have concerned yourself with. It's something that you have definitely explored, and from which you have probably also suffered in your life, also sometimes because you felt you're not being heard, or people are not understanding the complexity of your ideas. So once you use this to help others, then you finally feel, okay, through others this sun is shining, through others my rays of light are shining. Okay, enough about the ninth house, but I had to spend some time on it because it's really relevant in your chart. Another house that's relevant for you is the 11th house, and here you have Mars and Moon. And I wrote you a bit about this 11th house. This is the house of networks. This is a house of people gatherings, of fraternity, of exchange of ideas. This is the house also of the internet, but it's the house of actual networks of people that live in harmony and that exchange ideas. And definitely with your moon there and Mars, this is what you mostly long for. This is where you feel mostly fulfilled, when you belong to a group, when you can help a group, when you can use your force and your emotional capacity to contribute to that group and receive in return. So your deepest need is to belong to a group of people and help them progress with Mars there. So these are the two houses that are predominant in your chart. As you told me that you are planning to create a network, to create a community, I totally understand this, because you are all about ideas and you are all about networks of people. So this is definitely in your DNA. But let's look at it a bit and let's see where some obstacles might be and what your superpower is in actually conquering them. Okay, so your sun is in Aries in the 9th house. Aries is a very self-reliant, fiery starter sign, and in the 9th house you start the quest for ideas. You start the quest for knowledge. You start the going deep into ideas in order to find the truth, and the seeking of truth is very important for you, and the seeking of truthful ideas and of finding the right path is very important for you, with Mercury conjunct Sun there. And then even Chiron is very close. It's not really conjunct, but it's very close. So again, there is a path of that. Okay, sometimes you feel that you might not be understood, or you might not shine at your maximum power. But once you know that you can use this initiator force for the good of others, you get more motivated than ever. Your moon is in Cancer. And the moon in Cancer, I just made a video about it. Please go and see it. It's the heart of gold placement. I find moon in Cancer a true treasury of sweetness, of goodness, of people wanting to nurture others and wanting to nurture their close ones. And with it in the 11th house, your close ones also get a bit extended. So you want to nurture your community, your group of like-minded people. You want to bring your emotion and your capacity of creating safe, nurturing environments to a group of like-minded people. With the conjunction though to Mars, you might be sometimes a bit too forceful in your way of doing things. So you feel that your way of doing things is the best way. I have the same, so I can talk about it. Your way of doing or seeing things is the best way, and you might be a bit too assertive in how you come across, and in how you come across in the interactions with others and with your group. And this is the danger here. There is a danger of you wanting so much good for a group of people and wanting so much to belong, but you at the same time being so assertive and not being able to take on others' ideas as well, and wanting to get your point across and wanting to get your vision across, and especially because you have such a big vision, that you might be losing out on some emotional security that you're actually looking for from that group. So you need to be careful here and keep your independence from the group, because this helps Mars if you keep your independence, but at the same time try to help and use Mars to get your points across, but most importantly, not your own individual points only, but the group's points. So try to tune in with this empathic sweet moon and gather the points of others and then represent them in the fight. This is the you're like the fighter for your group of like-minded people. So also you help them go deep into subjects, because Mars does this and Moon also does this. So you bring that deepness of emotion to the groups that you're affiliated with. Okay, I talked about the Sun, the Moon. Now we're on to the South and the North Node, and this will kind of explain everything that's been happening on in your life, and this is how we usually South Node and North Node explain this for everyone. So with the South Node in the 9th house, where you have all these planets, and in Taurus, I would say that you probably feel it comes after Aries, but I would say that you probably felt initially that you have a very good understanding of why we are here on Earth and what we're meant to do and what the higher purpose is for us. And you kind of always intuitively knew that you understand this and you understand the quest for knowledge. And you probably love to learn and love to develop ideas and love to philosophize ideas and all of this, and love to develop the intellectual mind and get even a clearer picture. So this is what comes natural to you. And with these planets, with all this is definitely what you have been doing. But at the same time, the South Node is where we've been in the past, so we cannot grow from the South Node. This is what you come with from a past life already. So this is not where your growth comes from. This is not where your satisfaction comes from. Your satisfaction only comes in the moment where you are able to share these ideas, where you are able to debate them, where you are able not to hold a monologue, but to teach others, and at the same time take in new information that you might not be thinking of before. And because your North Node is here with Uranus, this actually means that your communication is unconventional. So you're talking about unconventional things, and this is your mission in life, to talk about unconventional things. Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury, so your communication can heal, help the world. It's such an important communication. You have such a big picture way of expressing things that's so valuable to people, and this is what you should be doing. But I get the feeling that probably it's easier for you to sit down and just learn for yourself and gather knowledge than to express this. But you need to go out there and express it in a quirky, unconventional, crazy way. But this is your life path. You need to share this higher knowledge. And you're talking about subjects here with Uranus in the third house, with North Node. You need to talk about subjects like astrology, astronomy, aliens, even psychology, philosophy. So you told me you're into psychology. This is no with this chart there is no surprise, but also astrology and even things that go beyond that are something that you like to talk about, and where you get the most fulfillment from when you can share this with people, and where you can share it probably with groups of people in this case, so Aquarius, Uranus. Yeah, so the danger is to go back in your nest and always want to just read and gather knowledge and know more and deal with it only for yourself. And the reward is actually when you share it with others. And with the North Node in Taurus, the South Node in Taurus and the North Node in Scorpio, this life path, I have the opposite, and I kind of know this life path is a path where you go from being comfortable into being uncomfortable for the sake of evolving, for the sake of taking ideas further, for the sake of for the sake of bringing yourself forward. So again, the same. A chart always repeats the same thing. So you go forward through going very deep in your knowledge and in your understanding of what's our purpose in this life, and in sharing that information. So you cannot sit comfortable and just read and just enjoy yourself, but you need to go out there and through through overcoming your own fears, through overcoming your own Chiron conjunct Mercury or Uranus opposite your South Node, share that information. So it's all about sharing. It's all about going from your comfort zone of learning to that of sharing. Okay, and then about how you go about reaching these things, Venus and Mars. Venus is in the 8th house. The 8th house is the house of psychology, the house of digging deep into subjects. I would say it's a house of money also coming to you from other places. So with a South Node in Taurus and with a Venus in the 8th house, you probably had inheritance, you probably had money coming from a husband or marriage or things like that. So you weren't you didn't have problems with money. But with Pluto then in the 2nd house, you wanted to go into the higher value of life. So you kind of had to let go of all of this, and this is the life path where you let go necessarily of only earning for the sake of earning, but you need to feel that you are bringing money to yourself for actually bringing people forward and bringing value to their lives. And this might as well be psychology. With a Venus in the 8th house, you're a very good psychologist, and this is what you get paid for. You get paid for helping people with their inner. Discovering their inner self through the 8th house. And then we talked about Mars. It's there with the moon. It's in the 11th house. You need to express your ideas. You need to fight for your group of people. You need to help them bring their points across. But you also need to be careful of not to overpower the group with your. It's a strong. It's a strong horoscope. Aries, a lot of Aries, then Mars, then Leo. So you definitely need to learn to observe also and to take in information, and you need to learn how you can develop things in collaboration with your peers, in collaboration with other people. You are probably very much a natural leader, but your horoscope kind of inclines, okay, you need to learn how to work with others to develop something, and not only on your own. Not only the Leo rising anyways needs to learn this with the descendant. It needs to learn, okay, it's not only about me. I'm learning how to develop this in groups with other people. Okay, so this is my interpretation of your chart again, Gola. Please leave me your feedback. Please let me know if you have any further questions. I appreciate you watching this channel, and I appreciate you writing me, and I wish you all the best for all that you are set up to do in your plans that you told me about, and I'm sure you will do absolutely great at them, and I think this is the right time to do it. And I believe that if you take into account what I was talking about, you see that this is in your DNA. I just gave you a few further advices that could help you take it even further. Thank you, and until next time, my Aries Moon Girl. I care about the stars, but most of all, I care about you. Bye bye.